Hello, welcome to my individual consultancy project presentation. My name is Ganapati Narendra Subramudaya Kumar, and today I will be presenting my final client recommendation and reflection for my consultancy project with PPNR Traders. Over the next 20 minutes, I will walk you through the project background, the solution developed, the evidence base, the implementation plan, the expected benefits, and finally a reflection on the consultancy process. Let me begin with a brief recap of the project with my introduction. PPNR Trader is a favor block manufacturing company operating in Indian region. While the company has a good reputation and stable demand, and also several challenges were identified during the current state analysis. At the start of the project, client identified three critical challenges like raw material wastage. On average, 30 kilograms of material were wasted each day due to manual patching and inconsistent labor shortages. With increasing demand, the company struggled to meet production targets and over-reliance on government contracts. It's about the company mostly depend on the government contracts, about 65% of the revenue from that. It creating risk when procurement slows. The objective of this consultancy was to improve efficiency by reducing waste and improving production process. Then diversify the customer base to reduce dependency on government contracts. Then strengthen financial stability and scalability to prepare for expansion and export opportunities. To investigate these issues, I conducted a primary research through a Qualtrics survey which targeted customers and potential customers. My target was 50 responses, but I successfully gathered 60 responses which provide a strong data set. I combined this with the current state analysis of client provided documents and informal discussions. The agenda of today's presentation will cover final recommendation for PPNR traders supported by survey and operational data, data-driven justification for each solution using graphs and survey results, a change and implementation plan with timelines, the benefits impact of proposed future state, a personal reflection on consultancy process using GIP's reflective cycles, then finally conclusion and next step for the both client and myself. The next slide is about the final recommendation. The first recommendation is about the semi-automated and quality control. I suggested to my client to installation of semi-automated batching system with quality control sensors. The problem here was material wastage of approximately 30 kilograms per day caused by manual measurements which also lead to inconsistent product quality. The solution proposed was semi-automated machinery which has already been implemented by the client after our discussion. The addition of quality sensors ensures standardization and greater customer trust. The strategic benefits are clear, like reduced material wastage, improved product consistency and customer trust, preparing the company for higher demand and larger contracts. The survey supports this recommendation. To see, 44.6% of respondents said they had experienced issues on sometimes, and 19.6% said always they have experienced issues. Only 3.6 respondents reported never. This demonstrates that consistency in quality is a significant concern for customers. By linking survey findings to operational data on wastage, automation directly addresses both customer satisfaction and internal efficiency. The next recommendation about the digital ordering and monitoring system. It means to introduce a mobile-friendly online ordering and delivery tracking system. Currently, orders are placed via WhatsApp, phone call, or in person, which is inefficient and difficult to scale. The survey results strongly support the digital adoption, like 46.4% of respondents said yes, they are ready to order through online. 50% said maybe, like depending on execution, and only 3.6 said no. This survey indicates the overall 96.4 respondents are open to digital ordering, a clear opportunity. The strategic benefit is like a smoother customer experience, better scalability as order volumes grow, increased professionalism and visibility, especially when targeting private contractors. This shows clear demand for a digital system which will improve customer experience and widen market reach and finally the enhance professionalism. The next recommendation is diversified payment option. At present, PPR mainly receives payment after installation, which creates cash flow problems. Like the survey revealed, 55.4% of responded payment preferred for payment on delivery. Only 12.5% preferred for the advance payment and 14.3% is preferred for the post installation payment like this was the PPNR's current mode. I justified offering flexible options such as 50% advance and 50% on delivery for private clients. The benefits are like improved liquidity, then reduced financial risk, then aligned with industry norms, and finally good later they integrate digital payment options like UPI, QR, and bank transfer for ease. The next recommendation is about the material usage optimization. Manual measurement of cement, sand, and chemicals create inaccuracy and daily losses. From the client's record, we saw rupees 24 per day wastage is annually it makes rupees 7,000. The recommendation is to adapt to calibrate measuring tools and simple monitoring spreadsheet. The benefits are reduce unnecessary losses, greater consistency in product quality, contribution to environmental sustainability goals, and a small step from now, but it lays the foundation for future lean manufacturing principles. Although the financial savings seems modest when combined with our semi-automation, it strengthens operational discipline and reduced rework cost. And the final recommendation is about the digital marketing and growth. Currently, 64% of revenue comes from the government contracts, 25% from the private contracts, and only 10% from individuals. This is risky because it leaves a company vulnerable to policy or procurement delays. Survey responded and open-end feedback highlighted the importance of online visibility and easy access to suppliers. The recommendation is use low-cost online marketing methods such as Google Ads, Facebook, and Instagram to attract private buyers. The client has already shown progress here by planning a new branch in nearby town. This expansion complements digital marketing and opens up a large customer base. The long-term benefit is reduced dependency on government contracts, stronger brand identity and readiness for future exports. The next slide is client feedback. During the discussion, client provided encouraging feedback like installed semi-automated machinery to reduce waste, hired additional staff to meet production demand, planned a new branch in nearby town to expand market coverage. Although initially hesitant about confidentially and signing consent forms, they expressed appreciation for the consultancy process and noted the usefulness of recommendation in guiding their strategy. The next slide is about implementation plan. This implementation plan is classified into four phases, and I'm using a Gantt chart for this implementation plan. Like the first phase start from month 1 to 2. It means launch digital marketing campaigns and develop an online ordering system. The second phase start from month 2 to 4. It introduced flexible payment structures and material tracking tools. The third phase is start from month 4 to 6. It's about install semi-automation machinery and quality sensors. And final phase 4 start from month 6 onwards. Like begin planning for expansion and export readiness. Resources required include financial investment is approximately from 2 to 3 lakhs for automation, web development cost, staff training and marketing budgets. This phased approach spread cost, reduce risk and ensures manageable implementations. The next slide is about the risk management. Of course, risk exists, but this can be mitigated like change resistance, digital adoption barriers, financial risk and market risk. When it comes to the change resistance, employee may fear about automation, but training and communication can ease this. Digital adoption barriers. Customers may be hesitant. So system must be user friendly and supported by guidance. Financial risk. Investment or face to avoid cash flow stress and market risk is diversify beyond the government contracts reduces over reliance on one segment. By anticipating these risks, the client can implement solutions smoothly. The next slide is about the benefit and impact. The benefit and impact. Implementing the recommendation will bring several benefits like efficiency gain through reduced wastage, consistent quality, and faster order handling. And then improve cash flow by moving away from post installation payment. The next greater market share via new branch operation and online marketing. Then competitive advantage by adopting automation and digital platform, boosting brand and professionalism. Then the scalability to support future growth and potential overseas trade. These benefits are aligned with our client long-term goals and demonstrate clear value. The next slide is about the reflection on the consultancy process. I am using gift reflective cycle to make my consultancy journey. Is described into description, feelings, evaluation, analysis, conclusion, and action plan. I start with the description. The project involved analysis the client current state, conducting a survey with 60 responded, and providing recommendation for efficiency, digitalization, and growth. it provided good data set for me too. The feelings. The next one is feeling. The, at the start, I was excited but also slightly nervous about engaging with the external business client and collecting reliable data. There was some concern about client confidentially and willing to participate. However, as the information started to come in and I convicted the client on matters of the confidentially. The next one is evaluation. The survey responses exceed expectation with 60 responded. However, some limitation included the challenges of getting high qualitative feedback and initial client reluctant to sign consent. Overall, the process was positive and productive. Then analysis. The challenges faced are highlighted the importance of balancing data analysis. It makes the strength and include using quantitative data like percentages and graphs to identify customer expectation and combining with this client provided performance data. Challenges including like managing data, ensuring ethical practices, and explaining technical recommendation in simple trust. The next is conclusion. The project brought me to the realization that effective consultancy relies not only on evidence-based advice. It taught me the importance of balancing data-driven insight with client expectations and relatives. Recommendation must not only be theoretically sound, but also practical and affordable for the client. The next one is action plan. In project, in future project, I will to start yearly communication about ethics and consent, and also explore mixed method more deeply. Example like interviews as well as surveys. And finally, strengthen my skills in data visualization tools such as Power BI and Excel and more advanced tools like use R tools or and Python. This structured reflection helps me grow both as researcher as a future consultant. In those research, I will develop my several key skills like research technique, data analysis, client communication, learning to explain recommendation in accessible way, and finally the project management. Then I conclude my presentation with my conclusion. This includes next step and my personal steps too. To conclude my consultancy, the project with PPNR Traders identified key challenges around wastage, labor, cash flow, and customer reliance. The solution semi-automation expanded workforce, digital ordering, flexible payments, and digital marketing. We are all evidence-based and feasible. Some have already been adopted by the client, such as semi-automation and workforce expansion. The next step for the client is about the fully integrated automation, develop the digital ordering platform, roll out marketing campaigns, strategically expand the new branches, and work towards the export readiness. My personal and the next step is about the future develop data analysis and visualization skills, strengthen the client communication and negotiation, and continue to apply method research in consultancy practices. Thank you so much.